preseason poll as things kind of matched out a little bit earlier this season. But right behind WT was A&M-Kingsville. They had one first-place vote, 315 total votes. The Buffs had 8 first-place votes, 388. Then Lubbock Christian, St. Edwards, Oklahoma Christian, St. Mary's, Texas A&M International, University of Arkansas at Fort Smith, Eastern New Mexico, Cameron, and UT Permian Basin. That's how they had it for the preseason. But as we headed to game number 5 for the Lone Star Conference for both teams, for WT, they come in with a record of 4-0 after a series sweep over International last week down in the Rio Valley. And while Javelinas were at home, they had a tough loss at home last week as they got into a little bit of a battle taking on St. Mary's, and so they lost that 4-game set as well. And so we get set for this one today. This should be a good one. Nick Marshall, of course, will take the hill for the Buffaloes. Nick comes in with a record of 1-0. He started last Friday's ball game, his first game start of the season. Pitched 6 innings and allowed 1 hit. He'll be facing Kobe Jaramillo. Kobe, a junior, has a 9.00 earned run average. He has an 0-1 record. He pitched 4 innings last week, allowed 3 hits, 4 runs, all 4 of those earned. He walked 4 and struck out 5. And again, the on-base average was a 188 against Kobe Jaramillo. But again, of course, game 1 of the season, so it's always tough to tell in the first one out for both. As we take a look at the starting lineup for today, first for A&M-Kingsville, they will lead off with Shelby Becker. He is playing first base today, followed by Nick Wolf, the catcher. Ramsey Amador, the third baseman, will bat third. Stephen Bonos will bat fourth. He's the designated hitter. Jake Chapman in right field will bat fifth. Michael Cervantes, the second baseman, will bat sixth. Batting seventh will be Dalton Kramer. Matthew Castro in left field will bat eighth. And the shortstop, Yvonne Durante, will bat ninth. For WT today, their starting lineup looks this way. The designated hitter, Cameron Loy, will get the start, followed by Ryan Johnson in left field. Adam Becker, selected, of course, as the LSC Player of the Year, will bat third. Will Fenning will bat fourth. Evan Leibel, the catcher, will bat fifth. Eddie Savoy, playing first base today, will bat sixth. Mike Manetta, the shortstop, will bat seventh. Patrick Donovan in center field will bat eighth. And Kaysen Haggard, playing second base, will bat ninth. And again, just a beautiful afternoon, sun-splashed sky, and so no clouds whatsoever. And it should warm up a little bit more as we go throughout the afternoon here, but game time temperature 41, so a cool 41 as we get set for this one to get underway. We want to take a time out. We'll do so, and we'll come back with our first pitch. But first, this break on the Lone Star Conference Digital Network.
80 years, the Lone Star Conference has been committed to excellence. What began in 1931 as a 5-team conference has grown to 18 institutions spanning 4 states. And while membership has changed, the pursuit of athletic success and academic excellence has never wavered. 119 national championships, over 2,000 All-Americans, and nearly 300 academic All-Americans. Celebrating 90 years of success, this is the Lone Star Conference.
This is a walk-on athlete. They train longer, put their heart into the game. This is the passion we're built on. It's why we put our heart into creating game day. With a taste of Louisiana. Walk-ons. We live for this.
National anthem for the start of today's Game one of this 4-game set. Of course, they'll play 2 tomorrow, getting underway at 1 o'clock, and then they'll play a 4 o'clock matchup, and then, of course, on Sunday will be the final. And the weather's supposed to improve each and every day. It should be in the 60s tomorrow, close to 70 on Sunday. So today will be the first of the 3. It will be a little cooler than the norm as we get set. For the Buffaloes, it'll be Savoy over at first base. It'll be Haggard at second. Shortstop will be Mike Manetta. And at third base will be Adam Becker. Ryan Johnson is in left field. In center field is Patrick Donovan. In right field is Will Finney. And Evan Leibel is the catcher for Nick Marshall, as Nick Marshall gets his final warm-up tosses in and gets set to face Shelby Becker, who will lead things off. Shelby Becker comes into this one with a .412 batting average. He started and played in all 4 games last week for Kingsville, and he's getting ready to get this one underway as well. For this series, the Buffs and Javelinas have met. Believe it, this is the 150th game between these 2 programs, and so, again, a series that goes back to 1994. Javelinas are 23-93 all-time in Canyon, as they've dropped their last 5 contests here at Wilder Park. Of course, Adam Becker claimed preseason player of the year accolades, while Wesley Gafford from St. Edwards was named the league's preseason pitcher of the year. So the Javelinas get set to get this one underway. And stepping up, as mentioned, is Shelby Becker. So Becker batting for the right side, settles in, ready to go. And that's going to be driven down the right field line, and that's going to be a fair ball. That's going to roll to the fence. And Shelby Becker gets aboard with a double, sliding into second base. So first pitch swinging. Becker will settle for a double. And so Becker on base, getting set. That'll bring up Nick Wolf, the catcher. And Nick Wolf batting .500 coming into this one. Wolf also started in all 4 games last week for the Javelinas, batting .308. He scored 3 runs. He has 4 hits, one of those a double. And for Shelby Becker, that was his 8th hit of the season. And he's scored 5 runs already this year, and that was his 3rd double of the season so far. So Wolf settles in, ready to go. So the pitch down and away. That evens the count at 1-1. Bryce Sheets, happy to be coming your way on the Lone Star Conference Digital Network. First home game for the Buffaloes this season. That's going to be driven down the first base line past Eddie Savoy out into right field. So runners at the corner with back-to-back hits against Nick Marshall. So a double and a single. So we'll go to next coming up, Ramsey Amador, the sophomore, playing third base today, batting .500 on the season. He's started all 4 games for Kingsville as well. This is his 13th bat of the season. He has 3 hits. That one is going to be a slow roller hit over to second base, and so a quick play there for the Buffs, as Haggard able to get that over to Savoy for the out. So he's retired 4-3 for out number 1. Run does come home and score, though. So Kingsville takes the early 1-0 lead as Wolf moves over to second base. And that'll bring up Steve Bonus. Cleanup batter. He's the DH in today's game for the Javelinas. Looks to strike 1. So Steve Bonus settles in, ready to go. Marshall takes a long look at second, now settles for the inside part of the plate for strike two. So Bonus down in the count. 0-2, a 6'1" senior from Port Lavaca. Played at Calhoun High School, settles in, ready to go. Bonus sends this one right up the middle. Quick job and over to first in time. Nice play by Mike Manetta as Netta comes up throwing, and so throws out Bonus. 6-3 for out number 2. So 2 outs, still a runner at third base, and that's Nick Wolf. As Nick Marshall settles in a little bit more, he gets set to face Jake Chapman. Jake playing in right field today. Started all 4 games last week's series for the Javelinas. He had 4 hits in that series. Batting .308, Chapman. Batting from the right side, settles in even stance. Wolf takes his lead at third base. Off-speed pitch, just missed. Just missed a little bit on the inside. That evens the count at 1-1. So Chapman looks at a pitch outside for ball 2. So the runs the count to 2-1. Outfield sliding toward the right sideline a little bit. Ryan Johnson playing a little more and towards center. Hit left field. Donovan pretty much straight away. That's down in the dirt for ball 3. Nice stop by Libels. He was able to keep that in front. Prevent it from going to the backstop, so that keeps the runner at third base, Nick Wolf. And Wolf will take his lead. So a 3-1 count coming in from Marshall. It's going to be high for ball 4. First walk of the game as Jake Chapman makes his way down to first base. So runners at the corner, and that'll bring up Michael Cervantes. Played second base today. Cervantes batting .154. Takes a look at strike 1. Marshall checks the wristband on pitches that are shuttled in. Settles down on the pitching rubber. So the 0-1 pitch on the way. And that's fouled off at the plate for strike 2. Nick Wolf all the way down the base pass. He thought that was just a pass ball. Marshall's ready. Here's the pitch. High for ball. So 1 ball, 2 strikes on Cervantes. The junior from League City, Texas. Batting from the right side. Takes a cut and comes up empty. So he's out on strikes. So 1 run comes across on 2 hits. There was 2 left on base for the Javelinas. And we go to the top half of the first, completed for Texas A&M-Kingsville. They lead it 1-0. Of course, the WT Buffaloes coming to the plate. We'll take a timeout and be back after this on the Lone Star Conference Digital Network.
In life, things aren't scripted.
If you're an athlete, we need people like you and translate those skills to officiating.
You can get a lot out of it.
It happens in every town,
in every game.
We never have a perfect game, but the rewards always outweigh the negativities.
Welcome back to Wilder Park as we get set for the bottom of the first inning. Kingsville with the early 1-0 lead. And heading to the mound, Kobe Jaramillo. Jaramillo with an 0-1 record. He started, of course, last week for Kingsville and pitched in 4 innings. He allowed 3 hits, 4 runs, all 4 earned. He walked 4 and struck out 5. Batters have a 188 batting average against him. He did hit 1 batter as well. As he gets set to face Cameron Loy, Ryan Johnson, and Adam Becker, the 1-2-3 batters in the lineup for the Buffaloes. Of course, Cameron Loy coming up as the DH. Cameron played in all 4 games last week for the Buffaloes. And so he comes up with a .312 batting average. He had 5 hits in last week's series. He scored 4 runs. He had 2 doubles. And he drove in 4 runs. And so busy man at the plate. Of course, the Buffs averaged 10 runs a game last week against International in that 4-game set. So Cameron Loy makes his way up. Loy, a junior from Mansfield, Texas. Played at Northeast Texas Community College. Settles in to bat from the left side, facing Kobe Jaramillo. First pitch is low for a ball. Loy settles back in, ready to go. Looks at a strike. That evens the count at 1-1. Jaramillo, right-hander. A junior from Bishop, Texas. That's driven down the first base line, and that's going to be in there for a base hit. So Cameron Loy gets aboard with a single, and that'll bring up Ryan Johnson.
Next up to the plate for the Buffs, number 30, Ryan Johnson.
Ryan, of course, senior from Albuquerque, New Mexico, played at Paradise Valley Community College. Ryan, 5'11" outfielder. Settles in ready to bat from the right side. Ryan, 13 plate appearances last week. And he had 6 hits. Looks at a strike. Scored 8 runs. He had 2 doubles. He had a home run. And he drove in 3 runs in last week's series. Ryan looks at a pitch outside for ball 1. So evens the count at 1-1. Again, sun-splashed afternoon. Not a cloud in the sky. As temperatures try to warm up. Trying to get some winds in here from the south. Winds are kind of blowing across the field from left to right now. There's a ball for ball 2. So 2 balls and a strike. Adam Becker in the on-deck circle. Of course, Mandenberg there's driven out to left field, and that's going to be in for a base hit. So back-to-back hits has runners at first and second base as Loy will stay at second. Ryan Johnson with a hit. And that'll bring up Adam Becker.
Up to the plate, number 22, Adam Becker.
Watch the replay here. Just a nice drive as that goes out to left field. And just a comfortable swing for Ryan Johnson. It gets him at first base. So we have runners at first and second. The bottom of the first inning for the Buffaloes. Nobody out. Buffs, of course, in their home white uniforms. Becker settles in, batting from the right side. Looks at a pitch down low for ball 1. Becker, of course, preseason player of the year. That's going to be driven out to left center field, coming on to make a sliding grab. And so nice play out in left field. That was a sliding dive for the left fielder as Matthew Castro able to slide over and pull that one in. So that'll bring up Will Fenning. So Adam Becker is a fly out for out number one. That'll bring up Will Fenning, the right fielder. Fenning batting .333 for the Buffs this season. Started all 4 games last week. Looks at a pitch on the outside corner for a strike. Evan Leibel in the on-deck circle. That pitch misses for a ball. So that evens out the count at 1-1. Fenning settles in. Again, that close stance, close to the plate. Just a real tight, compact swing. Looks at a pitch inside, misses. So the runners are advanced to second and third. So Loy over at third. Ryan Johnson at second with 1 out. Fenning with a 2-1 count. So Fenning settles back in, ready to go. Batting from the right side. Check swing, and they appeal. Of course, there's no first base up, and so the second base ump says no, so that runs it to ball 3. And nobody down the first base line because the runner's at second and third, so not really a good kind of look for the first base umpire standing out second base. So 3-1 count for Fenning. And that's going to be check swing for ball 4. So first walk of the afternoon for Jaramillo. So that brings up the catcher, Evan Leibel. Leibel will settle in, ready to go, batting from the left side. .455 in the 3 games he played last week. Played in 3 of the 4. Had 11 at bats. So this will be his 12th at bat. He has 5 hits on the season. Again, batting .455 from the left side. Bases are full, and takes a cut and off-speed pitch, and that's strike 1. Leibel a little out in front of that one. Eddie Savoy in the on-deck circle. Leibel, the catcher, settles back in, ready to go. Batting from the left side. Takes another cut and comes up empty. So he's down in the count 0-2. 1 out in the inning. Bases are full of Buffs. Evan settles back in, ready to go. Real close to the plate. Pitch is inside. Nice stop. Nick Wolf able to make that stop. So 1-2 count for Leibel. Leibel settles in, ready to go. Drives this one out into left center or right center field, and it's back. It's off the fence. So 1 run will come home for the Buffs. 2 runs come home, and here's the throw in. And so Leibel with a 2-strike double. He stands at second base and scores 2 runs. The Buffs take the lead, 2-1. As Ryan Johnson comes home to score, so too does Cameron Loy. And the Buffs gain the lead 3-2 and brings up Eddie Savoy with runners at second and third. Only one out in the inning. So Savoy settles in, ready to go, batting from the right side. Fouls this one off and out of play. Savoy batting 167, 12 plate appearances. He has 2 hits so far this season. Great opportunity for Eddie to add to his RBI total. He's already driven in 3 there. He looks at his strike, so he's down in the count, 0-2. So 0-2 pitch from Kobe Jaramillo. Driven up towards the second baseman on one hop over to first base is the only play. Run does come home for the Buffaloes as Will Finning comes home. And so Savoy is retired. 4-3 for out number 2. Bud does get an RBI. And that brings up Mike Mineta, batting from the left side. Mineta settles in, ready to go. Looks at a strike on the inside corner. Mineta batting .500. Played in 3 games last week, started in 2 of those. This is his 9th plate appearance. He scored 4 runs. He has 4 hits, takes an off-speed cut, and is down in the count 0-2. Mineta, who had a triple last week, also a home run. So 2 of his 4 hits have been extra base variety. So the 0-2 count. Jaramillo. Outside misses for ball 1. So 1-2 count. As Mike Mineta settles back in from Farmingdale, New York. Fouls this one down the third baseline and out of play. Senior shortstop will settle back in, ready to go. Again, batting from the left side. Mike Mineta with a runner at third base. That's Evan Leibel. Off-speed pitch down the third baseline. That's fair. And Leibel will come home to score. Mineta will dig for second as he will go in, and standing up, he'll make his way back to the bag at second. So 2-out double for Mike Mineta. Plates a run. And the Buffs now lead by a 4-1 count. You watch this just right down the line past the third baseman. I mean, right inside the bag. That was just perfect placement for the Buffalo shortstop, and a quick visit to the mound for the Javelinas as they want to talk things over with their pitcher. As Kobe Jaramillo, again, last week in his only start, he pitched 4 innings in that one. Now down in the count 4-1 on 4 hits. 2 of those doubles. Mike Mineta, of course, over at second base as he awaits the at-bat of Patrick Donovan. Patrick playing in center field today. Donovan from Scottsdale, Arizona, Gilbert Community College, 6'3" junior. Batting from the left side, will settle in, ready to go. Donovan batting .667, had played in 3 games last week, started in 1, has 3 at-bats. He's scored 2 runs on 2 hits. Looks at a pitch low for a ball. Also drove in a run, so he could add to his RBI total with a hit. Donovan ready to go, batting from the left side, open stance. Looks at a strike, evens the count, at 1-1. Donovan, the 8th batter for the Buffaloes. Kason Hager in the on-deck circle. Donovan drives this one out to right field, shallow right, sliding over and coming in to make the catch is Jake Chapman for out number 3. So Donovan flies out to right for the 3rd out for the Buffaloes. Not before the Buffs, though, get 4 runs on 4 hits. There are no errors and 1 left on base. We have played 1 complete. The Buffs lead it over Kingsville by a count of 4-1. We'll take a timeout. Be back after this on the Lone Star Conference Digital Network.
Since 1933, the Panhandle Plains Historical Museum has housed the vast history of Panhandle Plains, given back to the community, and provided educational resources to those who live here. Located on the campus of West Texas A&M University, PPHM is free to all students, faculty, and staff at WT. We offer volunteer opportunities, internships, and hands-on research experience. From prehistoric times to pioneer travels, there's something for everyone at the largest history museum in Texas. Stop by and see us sometime. Oh, and don't forget, go Buffs!
Four to 1, the Buffaloes lead as you get a look at a Sunsplash Wilder Park here in Canyon. Mike Marshall's first pitch. Right off of him, so it'll bounce over to the shortstop, and Adetta doesn't have a play on that from Dalton Kramer. So Kramer gets a board on a hit. That's right off of Marshall. Marshall, though, okay. That'll bring up Matthew Castro, the left fielder, hitting in the 8th spot. Castro batting, looking for his first hit of the season, looks at a strike. He's had 7 at-bats this year, and he's driven in a run. Castro batting from the right side, big open stance. Settles in to face Nick Marshall. Off-speed pitch, got him swinging for a strike. So 0-2 count on Matthew Castro. Pitch on the way. That's high for a ball. Again, Kramer got a board on that single off the pitcher's mound. So the 1-2 pitch from Marshall. Swung on, slow roller. It's going to be foul. It'll send Kramer back to first base. So Kramer. This pitch is hit out into right center field. Chase for it. Will Fenning able to pull that one in. Nice glove by Fenning. Kind of nonchalantly reached up and pulled that one in. So Castro flies out for out number 1.
Number 2, Ivan Duarte.
You're watching the replay here, just out into right center, the wind blowing across from left to right, and Fenning just at the last second reaches up and pulls that one in for the out. Runner going on the first pitch, that's fouled off at the plate for Ivan Duarte. Duarte, the shortstop. Come back with a strike. So Ivan settles back in, batting from the right side, even stance. Ivan fouls this one off at the plate, so he's down in the count 0-2. Getting set, ready to go. Marshall checks the runner at first base. Everybody playing pretty even. Quick throw over to first just to keep Kramer honest. Dalton goes driving back. Duarte from Juarez, Mexico, looks at a pitch for a ball, so that runs the count to 1-2. Played at El Paso Community College. He's a redshirt junior. Duarte looking for his first hit of the year. This one is over to past the second baseman, diving for it. That was kind of that seeing eye single. And really a nice play by Kason Haggard. He just couldn't get his glove down to knock it down. So Ivan gets aboard with a single. So runners at first and second for the Javelinas. And we go to the top of the order, Sheldon Becker. Shelby got a board on a double. Remember, first pitch swinging. Drove that out to right center field. Becker looks at a curveball. It's high for a ball. So Becker's improved with that double, improved his average to 444. He has a slugging percentage of 778. Looked at that one for a strike, didn't quite agree. And he was at first and second, one out. Outside corner, called strike two. So 1-2 count on the leadoff man playing first base today for Kingsville. Becker ready to go. Marshall checks the runner at second again. Now comes home with it. Fouled off at the plate. Keeps the count at 1-2. Kingsville in their blue tops, white pants with blue stripes. Got the gold trim. Javelinas 0-4 on this season. Trailing here 4-1 to the Buffaloes. This is driven out to left center field. Back. Sliding over and making a diving catch. Now getting up and throwing that one in. Runner tagged. So advancing to third base was Dalton Kramer. A nice play in center field for the Buffaloes. As Patrick Donovan just kind of slid over, made that punch out. You watch right here. Nice shot by Becker. That's a deep shot out into left center field. Donovan slides over, catches it. That's out number two. Nice job on replay on that one. Shot fouled off at the plate for Nick Wolf. Settled, ready to go. Batting from the left side. Had a single his last at bat. Was left stranded at third base. Evens the count at 1-1. Runners in the corner for Kingsville. 2 outs here in the top of the second. Outside corner just misses from Nick Marshall. Runs the count to 2-1. Everybody bundled up. A little cool afternoon here at Wilder Park. 41 degrees game time temp. Supposed to warm up to about 45. Off-speed pitch. Had Wolf swinging. That evens the count at 2. So 2's across the top of the scoreboard. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Wolf settles in, batting from the left side. Marshall checks, comes back home. Slow roller. It's going to go past the first baseman, Eddie Savoy. That'll be a single. That'll plate a run. For Kingsville, it cuts the lead to 4-2 in favor of the Buffaloes as Nick Wolf has back-to-back singles and drives in a run.
At bat number 12, Ramsey Amador.
That'll bring up Ramsey Amador. He grounded out to second base his last at-bat. Ramsey up for his second opportunity today. Pitch misses for ball 1. Ramsey batting .462, batting from the right side. Run. Cuts the Buffalo lead to 4-3. And here's a quick visit to the mound as Corey Hall comes out to visit with his right-hander real quick. Again, a good inning for Kingsville. They led off with a single from Kramer, who came around to score. Castro flied out to right field. Durante was able to single. And then Becker flew out to center field, but it allowed Kramer to advance to third, and then back-to-back singles from Wolf and Amador. Plated 2 more runs. So that makes it a 4-3 ball game. 3 runs on 6 hits for Kingsville. There's ball 1 for Stephen Bonus. That's a slow roller hit towards third. Becker comes up throwing over to first in time for the putout. So Bonos is retired. 5-3 for out number 3. But the Javelina is able to get 3 runs on 4 hits. So they got 3 runs on 6 hits so far in this ball game. Buffs lead it though 4-3 as we hit the bottom of the second.
Athletes drink fat milk. It helps replenish and restore muscles to their peak. Scientific studies suggest that chocolate include boosted recovery rates in athletes. Add low-fat chocolate to your post-workout.
best tailgate starts with best beef. And the Market Street. We the best.
Ryan Johnson. Bus 4-3. First strike. This is driven to a nice got a scenes worth of retired last better second run of the that single the last for the knee strike and one on outdoor comes as from after this
a onside kick on my knee hard and ended up fracturing femur, up having to go and have surgery. Even the day I had surgery was in the here. So now will help me rehab over what I'm used to feeling like I could do. I really was access to the turf, 'cause what I'm used to playing. I mean, it feels like nothing happened. Have it. This is one of the best.
Go back. With it off. And he his step. I don't know. So runner for Foul, so that becomes here at the third. Runs into Jamin. And down. That's beginning to find his his coach. Can't feel that the way on a cool so no hits, no errors. One batter hit by a pitch, but nobody left on base. We have played 2.5. The Buffs lead 4-3. We'll take a 1-minute timeout. Be back after this on the Lone Star Conference Digital Network.
West is the comprehensive fundraising campaign designed to fuel WT 125 from the Panhandle to the world. We will strengthen WT's impact for the Panhandle region and beyond through a historic, comprehensive campaign raising $125 million by 2025. The campaign's 3 priorities: people, programs, and places. Now is the time to make a difference for current and future generations. One West.
When you choose natural gas, chocolate chip cookies get a little tastier. Homes get a little cozier. Bank accounts tend to put on some weight. Towels get fluffier. Showers stay hotter for longer. And our blue planet gets a little greener. When it comes to choosing energy that's clean and efficient, nothing else could be more American. Atmos Energy, your natural gas company.
Well, welcome back to Wilder Park as we go to the bottom of the third inning. Buffs lead this one 4-3. And leading off for the Buffaloes will be Adam Becker. As he settles in to bat from the right side. Becker batting .421. Looks at a strike. Becker's last at bat, he flew out to left field. Diving stab. That's what's fouled off at the plate, so that runs the count to 0-2, excuse me. But Matthew Castro had a diving stab at a ball that was just kind of dying out there in left center to prevent Adam Becker from getting the hit. Becker, slow roller back up the middle, hit towards the shortstop. Throw over to first in time for the putout. Nice play by Ivan Durante. And so Becker's retired 6-3 for out number one. That'll bring up Will Fenning, who walked his last at bat and came around to score. Buffs scored 4 runs in that first inning on 4 hits. Buffs haven't been able to get a hit since that first, so looking for it here. Fenning looks at a strike on the outside corner. Fenning, again, close stance, close to the plate. Looks at a pitch low for a ball. That evens the count at 1-1. Fenning settles back in. Fouls this one off and out of play down the right field line. So that runs the count to 1-2. Evan Leibel in the on-deck circle. Fenning settles in, drives this one down the left field line. Just foul, though. Just kind of went a little further around on that than intended. Just couldn't hold up. Keeps the count at 1-2. Kobe Aramillo working in his third inning here. Aramillo, long look in, gets the pitch. And that is a line shot to the shortstop for out number 2. So Fenning lines out to Durante.
Next at bat for the Buffs, number 20, Evan Leibel.
They'll bring up Evan Leibel, who doubled his last at bat. Also drove in 2 runs. So the Buff catcher settles in, ready to go, batting from the left side. Leibel ready, settles in. Inside pitch, misses for a ball. Leibel. Close stance, similar to Fenning, close to the plate. Pitch on the inside corner, misses for ball 2. So 2-0 the count. Leibel settles in. 4-3 Buffs lead here in the bottom of the third. That's got the inside corner for a strike. So 1-2 is the count for the Buffs catcher, Evan Leibel. That misses outside for a ball, so 1-3 now the count. Leibel trying to get aboard for the second time. Looks at a strike. He thought that was ball 4. So that evens the count, or runs the count full, I should say, at 3 balls and 2 strikes. Leibel. Pitch on the outside, that is ball 4, so Liable aboard for the second time today. So he gets aboard on a walk.
Next at bat for the Buffs, number 10, Eddie Savoy.
So Eddie Savoy comes up. Savoy batting from the right side, hitting 154. Looks at a strike on the outside corner. Savoy grounded out to the second baseman, his last at bat. Settles in, ready to go. That one misses outside for a ball. So that evens the count at 1-1. Savoy, senior, settles in, ready to go. Fouls that one off at the plate, so that runs the count to 1-2. Savoy from Montreal, Quebec. Played at Northeastern Oklahoma A&M. Savoy, the junior, settles in. This one fouls off down the right field line and out of play. Keeps the count at 1-2. Savoy settles back in. Bit of an open stance now. Quick throw to first. Diving back is Leibel. Evan measures his lead at first. Here comes the pitch home, and that's driven right up the middle. See if it falls in for is that a catch? They are going to say that was a catch. It looked like it bounced, but nevertheless, nice play by the center fielder. Dalton Kramer able to come up with that put out. And so Savoy flies out to center for out number 3. So no runs on no hits, no errors. There was one left on base. As we play 3 complete, the Buffs lead it 4-3. We'll take a timeout of 1 minute. We'll be back after this on the Lone Star Conference Digital Network.
90 years, the Lone Star Conference has been committed to excellence. What began in 1931 as a 5-team conference has grown to 18 institutions spanning 4 states. And while membership has changed, the pursuit of athletic success and academic excellence has never wavered. 119 national championships, over 2,000 All-Americans, and nearly 300 academic All-Americans. Celebrating 90 years of success, this is the Lone Star Conference.
This is a walk-on athlete. They train longer, put their heart into the game. This is the passion we're built on. It's why we put our heart into creating game day with a taste of Louisiana. Walk-ons. We live for.
As we go to the top of the 4th inning, you see Nick Marshall right there taking his warm-up tosses. He leads 4-3 as the Buffs lead Kingsville. Buffs 4 runs on 4 hits, while Javelina's 3 runs on 6 hits. And leading things off will be Matthew Castro. Castro, the left fielder. Castro flew out to right field to Will Fenning, his last at bat. He shows bunt and pulls the bat back, and that'll be ball 1. So 1-0 count for Matthew Castro. Castro from Corpus Christi looks at a pitch inside and high for ball 2. So 2-0 the count on the junior. Played at Cal Allen High School. Drives it down to third base line. Becker knocks it down over to first base in time. And so Matthew Castro is retired here as we start the 4th inning. 5-3 for out number one. So we go to the bottom of the order, and this is Ivan Durante. Durante looks at ball one. So he's ahead in the count 1-0. Pops this one up, a high sky fly ball to left field. And coming in is the center field Donovan to make the catch. So Patrick Donovan called that one off and pulled that one in. So that's out number two on a fly out to center field. We go to the top of the order. That's going to be Shelby Becker.
Next at bat, number 8, Shelby Becker.
Becker, junior from Giddings, Texas, played at Paris Junior College. Looks at a strike. Top of the fourth inning, Buffs lead 4-3 here at Wilder Park. Home opener for WT. This one's fouled off for strike two. Again, yesterday we had snow here in the Texas Panhandle, so snow on the ground that has melted off today. 42, we've warmed up a whole degree since we had our first pitch. That's going to be high for a ball. So runs the count to 1-2 on Shelby as Becker comes up with a .421 batting average. That's going to be outside for ball two. So evens the count at 2-2 for Nick Marshall, working here in the fourth inning. Get a cool afternoon. Slow roller hit down towards third. Becker on one hop. That's going to be a foul ball, though. This keeps the count at 2-2 as Shelby Becker makes a slow walk back to retrieve the bat. Picks it up and gets ready to go. Becker, the first baseman for the Javelinas, settles in. And that pitch down low for ball three. So full count. Runs the count full at 3-2. Becker, who has singled and flown out today, came in with a .412 batting average, now has a .421 batting average. Becker batting from the right side. Slow roller hit back toward Marshall, can't get there. Coming over quickly over to third base in time. Nice play, or first base, nice type play by Adam Becker as he got that on a slow roller and was able to throw out over to Eddie Savoy for round number 3. And so Shelby Becker is retired 5-3 for out number 3. No runs on no hits, no errors, and nobody on base. We played 3.5. The Buffs lead it 4-3. We head to the bottom of the fourth inning, but first we'll have this timeout on the Lone Star Conference Digital Network.
Welcome to Shimon Dental Group, where every day we're excited to see our patients and treat them like family. We are dedicated to providing you with the highest quality care in a friendly and comfortable environment. Shimon Dental Group's patient-focused philosophy puts your needs front and center.
We are constantly investing in leading-edge technology. Innovations that speed the treatment process and improve aesthetics. We're expanding the breadth of our cosmetic and restorative services through training to provide the best possible outcomes.
Just with the level of commitment that they show to taking care of my family and I, it's absolutely unmatched in this town, so I've been very happy with them.
Brightening smiles for more than 3 decades.
Contact Shimon Dental Group for your appointment today.
Well, welcome back as we go to the bottom of the fourth inning here at Wilder Park with the Buffs leading 4-3. Mike Mineta will lead things off here for the Buffaloes. First pitch is going to be outside corner for a ball. Mike Mineta got aboard on a double, his last at bat. Also drove in a run for the Buffaloes. Shortstop looks at a pitch right at the knees for a strike. So that evens the count at 1-1. Buffs got 4 runs, I should say, in the bottom of the first inning. That one's in there for a strike as well. So runs the count to 1-2. Buffs 4 runs in the bottom of the first. Javeline's got 1 in the top of the first and 2 in the top of the second. Fouled off at the plate as that one comes back from Mineta. Keeps the count at 1-2. Buff shortstop with that bit of an open stance, batting from the left side, settles in ready to go. Facing Jaramillo. That one misses for ball 2. So 2-2. Nobody in the Kingsville bullpen, so they're comfortable as Jaramillo settled down. Hasn't allowed really a hit since the first inning. Here's a slow roller hit towards the second baseman, on in time for the retrieval to first as Mike Mineta is retired 4-3 for out number 1. That'll bring up Patrick Donovan. So the center fielder for the Buffs had a nice play the last inning out in center field. Will make his way to the plate. Batting .500. Pops this one up out towards center field. And coming on to make that play is Dalton Kramer. So Mineta is retired on 1 pitch. As he flies out to center for out number 2. Brings up Kason Haggard, the second baseman for the Buffs. Haggard batting .600. Grounded out his last at bat. Looks at a strike on the outside corner. So Haggard down in the count, 0-1. That pitch misses. Javelina coaching staff and players thinking that was the exact same pitch. 1-1 count on Haggard. Sends this one down the right field line, giving chase as that one falls foul and out of play. So that'll run the count to 1-2 on the Buff second baseman. Kaysen settles in, batting from the right side. Kaysen, of course, local product from Canyon. Played at Seward County Community College. Haggard looks at that outside for a ball. So that evens the count at 2-2. Haggard settles in. Outside misses for ball 3. So full count on the junior, batting from the right side. Drives this one, a little pop-up. It's going to be handled by the pitcher, Jaramillo. And that is out number 3. So a pop-up to the pitcher.
At the end of the fourth, 0 runs, 0 hits, 0
So no runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left on base. We have played 4 complete. Buffs hanging on to a 4-3 lead. We'll take a timeout and be back after this on the Lone Star Conference Digital Network.
Since 1933, the Panhandle Plains Historical Museum has housed the vast history of Panhandle Plains, given back to the community, and provided educational resources to those who live here. Located on the campus of West Texas A&M University, PPHM is free to all students, faculty, and staff at WT. We offer volunteer opportunities, internships, and hands-on research experience. From prehistoric times to pioneer travels, there's something for everyone at the largest history museum in Texas. Stop by and see us sometime. Oh, and don't forget, go Buffs!
Well, we head to the top of the fifth here at Wilder Park. Nick Marshall coming on for his fifth inning of work. And Nick Wolf will lead things off for the Javelinas. Their catcher looks at ball one as that one's outside. Wolf, who has singled twice in the ball game today. From Klein, Texas, Blinn College. Wolf, a junior, looks at ball two. Marshall in the windup. That's in there for a strike. Good fastball. Marshall working quickly. That's going to be low for a ball. So one ball, or excuse me, 3 balls and a strike. So a 3-1 count for Nick Wolf. That one misses on the outside corner, so another walk for Nick Marshall. That puts Wolf aboard for the 3rd time today. It's the 2nd walk given up by Marshall. And that'll bring up Ramsey Amador. Amador batting from the right side. Big open stance. Drives this one past the second baseman. So runners at first and second for Kingsville. Again, Nick Marshall now working with the runners aboard. That'll bring up the DH, Stephen Bonus. Bonus has grounded out twice today. First time to the shortstop, second time to the third baseman. Bonus settles in, ready to go. 4-3, Buffs lead it by 1, but 2 aboard for the Javelinas here in the top of the 5th. Pitch is inside for a ball. Jake Chapman in the on-deck circle for the Javelinas. There's a line shot pass to the runner at first base. One run is being waved around to score. So sliding in is the catcher, Nick Wolf. So that ties the game up at 4. Ramsey Amador will motor around to third base on the single by Steve Bonus. Steven with his first hit of the day. And that'll bring up Jake Chapman, who has walked and been hit by a pitch. So he's been on board twice today. Chapman still batting .214. Pitch inside, misses for a ball. 4-4 ball game. 4 runs, 8 hits for the Javelinas. 4 runs, 4 hits for the Buffs. And Nick Marshall on a very cool afternoon has struggled at times trying to find that rhythm. Kind of strike on the outside corner there, where Kobe Aramillo started rough in the first inning and then has settled in nicely for the Javelinas. That pitch misses inside. Let's see, are they saying it hit him? And the home plate umpire is saying that did connect. And coming out, yeah, they're saying it grazed his, let's see on the replay here if it's grazed his bat. It was hard to tell on that one. He acted like he got hit. So he sold it, if nothing else. Now the umpires are going to get together to make sure, as Chapman down at first base. And Matt Vandenberger's saying that it was a foul. So the umpires agree he was hit by a pitch again. So now bases are full of Javelinas. And that will bring up Cervantes, Michael Cervantes, hitting 133 on the season. Cervantes, second baseman, settles in, ready to go. Cervantes batting from the left side, bases are full. There's a fastball for a strike. Cervantes struck out in his last at bat. There's an off-speed swinging strike. So Michael Cervantes down in the count 0-2. Nick Marshall trying to make it 2 strikeouts in a row. On Cervantes, that is. That one misses for a ball. So 1 ball, 2 strikes. Cervantes settles back in. Marshall trying to pick up the speed a little bit. And they're swinging. Cervantes is out on strikes for out number 1. So that's out number 1. That's the 4th strikeout of the day for Nick Marshall. And that'll bring up Dalton Kramer as we watch the strikeout right there from the center field camera. That'll bring up Dalton Kramer, who has singled and struck out. That pitch down in the dirt for a ball. So 1-0 count on Kramer. Kramer 1 for 2 at the plate today, batting from the left side. Settles in, ready to go. That pitch just misses. It's ball 2. Marshall grabs the baseball bat, kind of walks around the pitching rubber. Now slowly works his way back up, ready to go. As Kramer settles in, Dalton from Devine, Texas, looks at a strike. So 2 balls and a strike. Southmore bat settles back in. Center fielder looks at strike 2. So 2-2 count on Dalton Kramer. Bases are full. 1 run's already come across for Kingsville to tie this one up at 4 here in the 5th. And there's an off-speed pitch that Kramer takes a cut at, and he is out on swings. That's the 5th strikeout for Nick Marshall. And that'll bring up Matthew Castro as we watch the strikeout here. Again, just an off-speed pitch that Kramer was swinging on. So that brings up Castro, who grounded out his last at bat. He grounded out. This is what he pops up. Let's see. Eddie Savoy over at first base, able to make the put out. So 3 straight outs. Settles the side for Nick Marshall. So Kingsville does get a run on 2 hits. There were no errors in the inning and 3 left on base. We played 4.5. And Kingsville's come back to tie this one up at 4 apiece. We'll head to the bottom of the 5th inning, but first this break on the Lone Star Conference Digital Network.
Welcome to Shimon Dental Group, where every day we're excited to see our patients and treat them like family. We are dedicated to providing you with the highest quality care in a friendly and comfortable environment. Shimon Dental Group's patient-focused philosophy puts your needs front and center.
We are constantly investing in leading-edge technology, innovations that speed the treatment process and improve aesthetics. We're expanding the breadth of our cosmetic and restorative services through training to provide the best possible outcomes.
Just with the level of commitment that they show to taking care of my family and I, it's absolutely unmatched in this town, so I've been very happy with them.
Brightening smiles for more than 3 decades.
Contact Shim and Dillon Group for your appointment today.
Welcome back to Wilder Park. As Cameron Loy will lead things off for the Buffaloes here in the bottom of the 5th inning, in a 4-4 ball game. Loy, who has singled, looks at strike one. Loy also grounded out to the first baseman back in the 2nd inning. So the pitch outside for ball. Evens the count at 1-1. Again, wind blowing from left to right across the outfield here at Wilder Park. And a cool afternoon for this first game of this 4-game set. That pitch misses for ball 2. So 2-1 the count for Cameron Loy. Loy settles in, batting from the left side. Cameron batting .333, takes a cut and comes up empty. So that evens the count at 2-2. Buffs, who had 4 hits in that first inning, looking for their 5th hit. Now they haven't had a hit since that first. That pitch misses outside for a ball. So runs the count full at 3-2. Jaramillo, who's only walked 2 today, has given up 4 runs on 4 hits. Check swing is there for strike 3 as Lloyd tried to bluff his way on, but he is the first strikeout victim of the day for Jaramillo. And that's out number 1. And that'll bring up Ryan Johnson. Johnson is 1 for 2 today. Had a single back in the first inning. Came around to score. Grounded out to the third baseman, his counterpart grounded out to the third baseman. Back in the 2nd inning. So Johnson settles in, batting from the right side. Drives this one out into left center field. Back, reaching up and pulling that one in. Nice job by the left fielder coming up to make that. Matthew Castro fell down doing so, but able to grab that Johnson offering for a long fly out to left field. That's out number 2. That'll bring up Adam Becker, who has 0 for 2 today. Becker settles in, batting from the right side, looking for his first hit today. Batting .467. Pitch is outside for a ball. So Becker settles back in. Pops this one up and out of play. So that evens the count at 1-1. Becker grounded out to the shortstop, his last at bat. Settles in, open stance, batting from the right side. Becker looks at a pitch high for a ball. So 2 balls and a strike. Becker settles in, ready to go. Drops this one in for a base hit. There's his first hit of the day as he drops that over the third baseman's head. So Adam Becker gets aboard. First hit since the first inning for the Buffs. And that'll bring up Will Fenning. Fenning, who walked at his first at bat, scored a run, and then lined out to the second baseman back in the third inning, settles in, ready to go. Pops this one out to center field, and settling underneath, circling underneath to pull that one in is Dalton Kramer, and that's out number 3 as Fenning flies out. For out number 3, no runs for the Buffs. 1 hit, no errors, 1 left on base. We have played 5 complete. We're tied at 4 as we go to the top of the 6th inning, but first this break on the Lone Star Conference Digital Network.
WT student athletes drink low-fat chocolate milk post-workout because it helps replenish and restore muscles quickly to their peak potential. Scientific studies suggest that the immediate benefits of low-fat chocolate milk include boosted performance, improved training, and higher recovery rates in athletes. Add low-fat chocolate milk to your post-workout routine.
Go Buffs!
The best tailgates start with the best beef, and the best beef starts with Market Street. Market Street, where we do beef the best.
Well, blankets are the necessary attire for this one today. It'll be better tomorrow and Sunday. It'll be in the 60s, but today only 42 in this 4-4 ball game between the Javelinas and the Buffaloes. Nick Marshall out for his 6th inning of work, as Marshall went 6 innings in his last outing on Friday last week. Now out for his 6th inning of work as he gets set to face Yvonne Durante, followed by Shelby Becker and then Nick Wolf. So again, last inning, a bit of a rough one. And we'll change that. I thought that was Marshall, but no, it's Maddox Hoagland who's come out to pitch for the Buffaloes. Maddox, of course, the right-hander from Cadillac, Michigan, played at Indian Hills. First pitch swinging, and that one got away from Mike Mineta. And so getting aboard will be Yvonne Durante for the 2nd time today. See if that's a hit or an error. As Durante gets aboard. They are going to call that an error on Mineta. And you watch, here's the replay. Pitch from Hoagland is driven toward the shortstop. Mineta just couldn't get the glove on it. So they're going to call that an error. So Yvonne's aboard on an error. E6. So that brings up Shelby Becker. Becker batting .400, batting from the right side, settles in, ready to go. His 4th at bat today. Looks at a pitch outside. So Becker heading the count 2-0. Matthew Hoagland on in relief here in the 6th. And now a quick conversation out on the hill for Coach Hall. Will make his way out there to talk with Maddox. Maddox got an ERA of 7.71, pitched last week. He's pitched in 2 1/3 innings. Again, it's a cool afternoon, so there is action in the WT bullpen. Nobody throwing in the Kingsville bullpen. They're comfortable right now. So slow walk out for the home plate umpire. Coach Hall getting ready to break this one up. So Maddox Hoagland settles in, ready to go. Again, a runner at first base, Yvonne Durante. Shelby Becker with a 2-0 count Becker settling back in, ready to go. Becker's had a hit today. There's a strike on the outside corner. Throw down to first, not in time. So that runs the count to 2-1. Becker doubled his first at bat, flew out to center field, and is grounded out to third. So he's 1 for 3 at the plate. Here's a quick throw to first. And Savoy kind of caught off guard on that Maddox Hoagland offering. Maddox ready to go. The right-hander pitches. In there for a strike. So that evens the count at 2-2. Again, I think that's Coach Hall just came out and said we just need to focus like a laser on Evan Leibel's glove. That's where you want to deliver it. So 2-2 count for Becker, and swing off-speed pitch. And Shelby is out. And that's out number 1. That's the 6th strikeout for Buff pitching today. That'll bring up Nick Wolf, who is 2 for 3 today. Actually, he's 2 for 2. He walked once. Takes a swing at an off-speed pitch. So he's down in the count 0-1. Wolf will settle back in, batting from the left side. Maddox ready. This is driven out to center field, giving chase. Donovan circles underneath, able to pull that one in as Wolf flies out for the first time today to center field for out number 2. So back-to-back outs will bring up Ramsey as Amador will come up. Ramsey is 0 of 2 today, or excuse me, 1 of 3 today because he had a single his last at bat. So Amador settles in, batting from the right side. Maddox Hoagland's pitch, off speed's in there for a strike, getting that breaking ball to work now. Amador, there's a quick throw to first base, diving back is Durante. Again, Durante got aboard on an error. Takes his lead. That fastball's inside for a ball. Ramsey thought that was just a little too tight on that one. Amador settles back in, batting from the right side, open stance. Off-speed pitch, he fouls this one off and out of play. So that runs the count to 1-2. Here in the top of the 6th inning in a 4-4 ball game. Amador settles in, ready to go. Maddox Hoagland on in relief of Nick Marshall. Here's a throw down to second base. Not in time, and give the stolen base to Ivan Durante. So he's aboard at second. Also was called ball 2. So a 2-2 count on Ramsey Amador. Ramsey settles in with now a runner in scoring position. Off-speed pitch swinging, and Ramsey's out on strikeout for out number 3. So no runs on no hits. No, there was 1 error in the inning and 1 left on base. We have played 5.5. We're tied at 4 between Texas A&M-Kingsville and West Texas A&M as the Buffs here at home. In a 4-4 ball game, we'll take a timeout and be back after this on the Lone Star Conference Digital Network.
Energy is a glowing sphere of hot gas. It's an ocean of air. And at Excel Energy, we make it safe. It's why we train first responders. Help you identify where utility lines are buried. Sir, do not dig there. And it's why we study the flight paths of majestic golden eagles before we build a wind farm. Safer energy, people. It's all part of a carbon-free 2050. You, us, together.
Choosing the right countertops for your kitchen can be tricky. Nowadays, there are hundreds of colors, patterns, and textures and materials that range from natural to engineered stone. Marble Depot is here for you throughout every step of the process. And yes, we do have a lot of options that might make that decision a little harder, but we're also going to ask the right questions so that you get the most out of your investment. So come by our showroom and let us help create what you've been dreaming of.
There you can see the wind, what it's doing to the American flag here, blowing from left to right across the, almost kind of in almost now. It's kind of switched direction a little bit as we go to the bottom of the sixth inning for the Buffaloes. They are in a tie ball game with Kingsville. 4 Buff runs on 5 hits and 1 error. 4 Kingsville runs on 8 hits. Evan Leibel looks at strike 1 to lead things off here in the bottom of the 6th. Leibel has doubled and walked today. Evan batting .500 at the plate this season. Fouls this one off at the plate. So that runs the count to 0-2 on the Buffalo catcher. He'll settle back in, ready to go, facing for the 3rd time Kobe Jaramillo. Jaramillo working here in the 6th inning. Getting rough first inning, but has settled down ever since. Off-speed pitch. Got Leibel swinging for his 2nd strikeout of the ball game. So that's out 1 for the Buffs. That'll bring up Eddie Savoy. Savoy is 0 for 2 at the plate today, batting .143. Has driven in a run, though, today. Buffalo first baseman looks at a pitch low for ball 1. Mike Bonetta in the on-deck circle for the Buffs. Savoy ready. Pitches inside for ball 2. So 2-0 count. There is some action in the Javelina bullpen. And again, very cool. 42 degrees last time we checked. It's outside for ball 3. So Savoy trying to get on for the first time today. 3-0 pitch is going to miss for ball 4. So Eddie Savoy does get aboard with a walk. That's the 3rd walk of the ball game for Jaramillo. Now nobody earnestly warming up yet for Kingsville. Mike Bonetta out for his 3rd at bat. Bonetta got aboard on a single and drove in a run back in the 1st. And grounded out to the 2nd baseman in the 4th inning, excuse me. Buffalo shortstop settles in. Bonetta from Farmingdale, New York, batting from the left side. Pops this one up and out of play. So that evens the count at 1-1. Savoy measures his lead off the bag at first. Jaramillo doesn't really check the runner at first. That one's going to be low for a ball. So 2-1 the count for Mike Bonetta. Inside misses for ball 3. So 3-1 the count on the senior. Bonetta ready to go. Jaramillo comes home with it, and that one misses for ball 4. So back-to-back walks have Buffs at first and second after a strikeout to Leibel. That brings up Patrick Donovan, the center fielder. Patrick is 0 for 2 today at the plate. Still batting .400 on the season. A little quicker now in the Kingsville bullpen. As Donovan settles in, batting from the left side, ready to go. This pitch is going to be driven down the left field line. Let's see if it's going to stay in play. Giving Che. Oh, it did, but it was overplayed by Ramsey Amador. He was trying to slide, trying to gauge that wind. As that kind of held it up and swirled it a bit. So it becomes a long strike for Patrick Donovan. So he's down in the count 0-1. Donovan from Scottsdale, Arizona. The junior settles in, batting from the left side. Pitch is there on the outside corner for a strike. So 0-2 in the count for the Buffalo outfielder. He'll settle in. Again, runners at first and second. One out here in the bottom of the sixth. 4-4 ball game. That misses outside for a ball. So runs the count to 1-2. So Donovan ready. Open stance. Fouls this one off and out of play. Keeps the count at 1-2. And Donovan batting .400, has an on-base percentage of .625. And with runners on base, he's batting .667, but with runners in scoring position, he's batting .500. He does have a runner at second base. That's low for a ball. That evens the count at 2-2. So 2-2 pitch from Jaramillo is fouled off at the plate. Keeps the count at 2-2. Kobe working a little slower now than he was earlier. Jaramillo. Looks at the runner at second. Looks at him again, now comes home with it, and that's going to be high for a ball. Runs the count full at 3-2. Jaramillo from Bishop, Texas, played at UTSA. Before transferring to Kingsville. Kobe ready. Donovan ready. Drives it up the middle. Slow roller to second. On time for first for one out. Or I should say, for the tag at second base for one out. And so Mike Mineta is retired. 6-4 for out number 2. Patrick Donovan is aboard at first, and over at third base is Eddie Savoy. That brings up Kason Haggard, who is 0 for 2 today. He is ground out to the third baseman and popped up to the first baseman. Haggard batting from the right side. Hitting still .500, settles in ready to go. Drives this one past the second baseman. And that'll plate one run for the Buffaloes as they regain the lead 5-4 as Eddie Savoy comes home to score on a nice hit from Kaysen Haggard, his first of the ball game today. Kaysen also gets the RBI. And you'll watch this hit right here. Nice shot past the second baseman. So that plates a run for the Buffaloes as Savoy comes home, and that'll bring out a visit to the mound for Kingsville coaching staff. Let's see, they have called to the bullpen. They have indeed called to the bullpen. So that'll be it for Kobe Jaramillo. Pitched in 5 2/3 innings today. Allowed 5 runs on 6 hits. He's walked 4 and struck out 2. He still will be responsible for the base runners for the Buffs. But we'll have a pitching change, so we'll take a timeout and be back after this on the Lone Star Conference Digital Network.
Delicious, refreshing, Pepsi.
The best tailgates start with the best beef, and the best beef starts with Market Street. Market Street, where we do beef the best.
We are Carpet Tech, and we are family. More than carpet cleaners, we're a team. Diving right in, not afraid to invest in our work and each other. We're killing it day in and day out, never shrinking from a challenge. Our people are 1 part passion, 1 part grit, and about a zillion parts awesome. And we are always looking to add to our family. So what are you waiting for?
Choosing the right countertops for your kitchen can be tricky. Nowadays, there are hundreds of colors, patterns, and textures and materials that range from natural to engineered stone. Marble Depot is here for you throughout every step of the process. And yes, we do have a lot of options that might make that decision a little harder, but we're also going to ask the right questions so that you get the most out of your investment. So come by our showroom and let us help create what you've been dreaming of.
So Cole Payne is on in relief as Cameron Lloyd comes to the plate. Cole Payne from Curio, Texas, played at Temple Junior College. Junior for Javelinas, facing Cameron Lloyd. Lloyd, who is 1 for 3 at the plate today. Looks at a pitch on the outside corner for a ball. Buffs take the lead 5-4 here in the bottom of the 6th inning as Kobe Jaramillo goes 5 2/3. Gave up 6 hits, 5 runs, walked 4, struck out 2. Payne's pitch on the outside corner misses for a ball. So 2-0 the count for Cameron Lloyd. I don't know that Cole Payne got a warm-up, but again, it's a cold day, kind of tough to get going. Pitch is inside for a strike. So the right-hander settles in ready. 2-1 count on Cameron Lloyd, batting from the left side. Lloyd, pitch on the outside corner misses. So that runs the count to 3-1. Runners at first and second. Donovan at second. Haggard at first. Lloyd ready to go with the 3-1 pitch from Cole Payne. Takes a swing, comes up empty on that fastball. So that runs the count full at 3-2. So Cameron Loy settles in, ready to go. Batting from the left side. 2 outs for the Buffs. Runner's off, but Loy takes a swing and comes up empty. Strikes out for the second time in the ball game. First strikeout for Loy, and that's the end of the 6th inning. The Buffs do get a run on 1 hit. There were no errors in the inning. And 2 left on base. At the end of 6th, WT leads this one 5-4. We'll take a 1-minute timeout. I'll be back after this on the Lone Star Conference Digital Network.
West is the comprehensive fundraising campaign designed to fuel WT 125 from the Panhandle to the world. We will strengthen WT's impact for the Panhandle region and beyond through a historic, comprehensive campaign raising $125 million by 2025. The campaign's 3 priorities: people, programs, and places. Now is the time to make a difference for current and future generations. One West.
When you choose natural gas, chocolate chip cookies get a little tastier. Homes get a little cozier. Bank accounts tend to put on some weight. Towels get fluffier. Showers stay hotter for longer. And our blue planet gets a little greener. When it comes to choosing energy that's clean and efficient, nothing else could be more American. Atmos Energy, your natural gas company.
Well, sunny conditions here at Wilder Park in Canyon. We've warmed all the way up to 43 on a cool afternoon. First pitch for Maddox Hoagland facing Stephen Bonus. It's going to be ball 1. Here's the second offering. Swung on, and that evens the count at 1-1. So Buffs regain the lead in the bottom of the 6th. They're up 5-4 here in the top of the 7th. Maddox Hoagland on in relief. That pitch gets away from his catcher. So it runs the count to 2-1. Yeah, cool afternoon. We had snow yesterday. Covered the ground. Got about an inch. And that all melted off today. Cool conditions. It's going to warm up over the next 2 days. There's a slow roller hit to Mike Manetta at short. His throw on to first base in time to retire Bonus. So he is retired 6-3 for out number 1. Jake Chapman now will be heading to the plate. Chapman, who has walked, hit by a pitch twice. Batting .308 as he was at the beginning of the day. There he looks at a strike. Chapman, a right fielder. Check swing is going to be a strike 2. I don't think he thought that he went around on that one, but that was a pretty kind of bold cut on that one. So 0-2 count on the right fielder for the Javelinas. That one misses for a ball. So Chapman settles back in, ready. Chapman from Bernie sends this one out into center field for a base hit, so he gets his first hit of the day. And he's on base for the 4th time today. And that'll bring up Michael Cervantes. We have a pitch runner in for Chapman. As Garrett Thompson comes in from New Braunfels, the junior will be the pitch runner. Check swing for a strike. Well, we'll try to get this. It's Garrett Thompson that's batting for Cervantes. So Thompson with an 0-1 count. Takes a cut, comes up empty. He's down in the count 0-2. He also have a pitch runner. I can't get his number over at first base. So that's Jaden Cavazos. Quick throw to first. Cavazos is back. So Cavazos, redshirt sophomore out of West Lonco and Blinn College. And then Garrett Thompson at the plate from New Braunfels. Pitch is high for a ball. So runs the count to 1-2. Thompson batting from the left side, settles in once again. And that just misses. Evens the count at 2-2. Dalton Kramer in the on-deck circle. So Thompson settles back in. Here's a throw down to second base in time to get the runner, yeah. So the pitch runner on that one, Cavazos, is thrown out trying to take second base. So Cavazos is retired as we watch here. That was a nice throw from the Buffs catcher. Leibel does a nice job getting it down to second base as Cavazos is retired. 2-4 for out number 2. Now Thompson still at the plate. 3 balls, 2 strikes. And that one just misses. Leibel looks back. He thought that was right there. He's going to ask the question as Thompson gets aboard on a walk. First walk of the day for Maddox Hoagland. That'll bring up Dalton Kramer. Kramer batting .333. Singled and struck out twice today. So he's 1 for 3 at the plate. Kramer takes an off-speed pitch. That's going to be a strike. That evens the count at 1-1. Again, sun-splashed afternoon, wind coming in. Makes it feel colder than it really is. Throw to first base. Back in time is Thompson. That pitch in the inside corner misses for ball 2. So 2-1 the count on Dalton Kramer. Kramer. Off-speed pitch, lets it go, and that runs the count to 3-1. So 2 outs, 3-1 count. See if Thompson's off with a pitch, fakes the run. This is hit down the left field line, and that's going to be out of play. So that runs the count full at 3-2. This time, Thompson will be off with the pitch. Maddox Hoagland in his second inning of work. Settles in ready to go. The right-hander. And that one is called ball 4. So back-to-back walks. Have runners at first and second. And that brings up Matthew Castro. Castro looking for his first hit of the day as well. Runners at first and second. 5-4 Buffs with the lead. Outside corner there for a strike. Maddox Hoagland. Big right-hander ready to go. This is going to be hit out into right field. Fenning gives chase. Back. And that one is gone for a 3-run home run from Matthew Castro. Drives in 3. And Kingsville takes the lead over the Buffs by a count of 7-5. So that one hits the top of the fence and bounces back in. And that'll bring up Von Durante. Durante looks at strike 1. So 7-5, Kingsville with the lead. That one's going to be low for ball 2. Buffs looking for their 5th win. Kingsville looking for their 1st. That outside corner is a strike. Runs the count to 1-2. Buffs come into this one 4-0 on the season. Kingsville 0-4. That one again gets away from Leibel. Evens the count at 2-2. Should Durante get on board, then we go to the top of the order, and that'll be Shelby Becker. That one's fouled off and out of play. Keeps the count at 2-2. Home plate umpire pauses for a moment to get some baseballs. Buffs score 4 runs in the first, 1 in the 6th. Kingsville 1 run in the first, 2 in the second, 1 in the 5th, and now 3 here in the 7th. That's fouled off at the plate. Keeps the count at 2-2. As Yvonne Durante stays active here at the plate. His action in both bullpens. Fouled off down the third base line and out of play. Maddox Hoagland working his 2nd inning of relief. That is going to be hit out into right field. That'll drop in for a base hit. Fanning will get it and retrieve it. So Durante gets aboard. So first batter in the inning grounded out. Second batter got aboard on a single, but was thrown out when they changed, brought in a pitch runner trying to steal second. Then a walk, a home run, and then a single. Here's a slow roller hit to Mike Mineta. Mineta over to second in time for the out, so that will retire Shelby Becker as he is retired 6-4 for out number 3. But not before Kingsville gets 3 runs on 3 hits. There are no errors in the inning and 1 left on base. We have played 6.5, and Kingsville with a 7-5 lead over the Buffaloes. We'll take a timeout and be back after this on the Lone Star Conference Digital Network.
Welcome to MediDrive Pharmacy. We greet you by name, and our pharmacists take the time to console you and answer all your questions. Our Health Mart Pharmacy specializes in serving our community with fast, friendly professional service and the highest quality of medicine and health products. We accept most insurance plans, including Medicaid and Medicare, and we offer free in-town delivery to your home or business. Come visit us for all your health care needs.
It's got the looks, the style, the performance. Your new car is everything you always dreamed of, and now it's here. First Financial Bank was happy to help put you behind the wheel with a new car loan at a competitive rate and fast, friendly, local approval. It's service that just comes naturally to us, much like a love of tradition comes naturally to you. First Financial Bank, you first. Member FDIC.
Well, the Buffaloes will send their 2, 3, and 4 hitters in the lineup today to face Cole Payne working in his second inning of relief. As Kingsville now has the lead 7-5. In fact, Cole Payne will be set up for the possible victory should they hang on. That'll bring Ryan Johnson to the plate. Ryan 1 for 3 today. Got a single back in the first, grounded out in the second. Flew out to left field in the fifth. Ryan batting from the right side. Got hit by a pitch, and so he'll head down to first base. So Ryan will be aboard. And that'll bring up Adam Becker. So Becker comes up, looking at hitting 1 for 3 from the plate today as well. His last time up in the fifth, got a single, was left stranded at first base. Becker looks at a strike on the outside corner. Will Fenning in the on-deck circle. 43 degrees. We've warmed up a couple since the first pitch today. But the wind blowing in makes it feel much colder. There's a strike. Becker can't believe it. Shows his displeasure on that call. Here's a shot, slow roller, hit over toward the shortstop, on in time for one. But Becker's safe at first. And Johnson stayed at second for a moment. He thought the guy came off the bag. So Becker aboard with a fielder's choice. Becker's retired 6-4 for out number 1. That'll bring up Will Fenning. So Will Fenning, batting from the right side, settles in, ready to go. First pitch, inside, misses for a ball. Fenning looking for his first hit today. He walked in the first, lined out to second in the third, and flew out to the center fielder in the sixth. Fenning fouls this one off, not a play. So that evens the count at 1-1. Becker on at first base, 1 out in the inning as Becker got aboard on that fielder's choice. Evan Leibel in the on-deck circle for the Buffs. Trailing 7-5 here to Kingsville. There's a good pitch, good breaking ball came inside for a strike. So that runs the count to 1-2 on Will Fenning. Fenning settles back in, ready to go. Takes a swing, and Fenning is retired on strikes for out number 2. It's the second strikeout for Cole Payne. And that'll bring up Evan Leibel, who struck out his last at bat. Leibel with a double, his first at bat, walked and then struck out. Looks at a strike. Leibel settles back in, ready. Leibel from Los Alamitos, California. Looks at strike two. The junior catcher. Played at Oklahoma before coming to WT. So he's down on the count 0-2. Averaging .462 at the plate. Looks at a pitch outside for a ball. So 1-2 the count for Evan. Leibel settles in, ready to go. Pitches outside for ball two. So he's run the count even at 2-2. Leibel settles back in, ready to go. Batting from the left side, Leibel with a runner Becker at first. Drives this one out into left center field. Left fielder slides over and gets underneath for the putout. And that's out number 3 as that one hung up in the air and Leibel flies out for out number 3. No runs for the Buffs, no hits, no errors. There was one left on base. We played 7 complete. Kingsville with a lead, 7-5. We'll take a timeout and be back with more on the Lone Star Conference Digital Network.
90 years, the Lone Star Conference has been committed to excellence. What began in 1931 as a 5-team conference has grown to 18 institutions spanning 4 states. And while membership has changed, the pursuit of athletic success and academic excellence has never wavered. 119 national championships, over 2,000 All-Americans, and nearly 300 academic All-Americans. Celebrating 90 years of success, this is the Lone Star Conference.
This is a walk-on athlete. They train longer, put their heart into the game. This is the passion we're built on. It's why we put our heart into creating game day with a taste of Louisiana. Walk-ons, we live for this.
Well, welcome back to Wilder Park. Colton Charnholm comes on in relief. The senior pitcher from Tangeram, Germany. No, that's not correct. I was going to say I looked at the wrong thing here. Charnholm is from Littleton, Colorado. His teammate Paul Whitman is from Germany. But Colton Charnholm, the left-handed senior, gets his final warm-up tosses in. Colton comes in. He pitched in 1 inning in the last series down in the Rio Grande Valley, and he allowed 3 hits and 2 runs, 2 of those earned. So, of course, that balloons his ERA to 18 right now. But, of course, the veteran has come on in relief multiple times for the Buffaloes. So, Colton settles in, ready to go. So Colton formerly pitched at the University of Washington. Settles in, ready to go. Charnholm. Off-speed pitch is in there for a strike. Nice bend on that one. So Nick Wolf, the first batter, to face Charnholm. Sends this one sky high. And the second baseman tried to get underneath it and make the put out, and able to do it. It's Kason Haggard able to make that pop up for out number 1. And that'll bring up Ramsey Amador. Amador, who has a single that struck out twice. Or check it, he's singled twice today, struck out once, and is grounded out. He is 2 for 4 at the plate today. Looks at ball 1. Amador will be followed by Steve Bonus. Amador looks at a pitch down in the dirt for ball 2. So Colton Charholm facing a right-handed batter. Last time, of course, Nick Wolf was a left-handed batter. This one's driven down the third baseline to Becker. Comes up throwing over to first in time for the putout. And so Amador is retired 5-3 for out number 2. So that'll bring up Stephen Bonus will come up, the DH. He is 1 for 4 at the plate today. Singled back in the 5th. He's grounded out in the 1st, the 2nd, and the 7th. All to the left side of the infield. Charholm first pitch. In there for a strike. Lefty versus lefty, breaking ball. Just doesn't break enough. That evens the count at 1-1. That was a nice bend to it, but just couldn't get it to come all the way in. Another bender won't break. So that runs the count to 2-1 for Bonus. 7 runs on 11 hits for Kingsville. 5 runs on 6 hits for the Buffs. Right side corner got there for a strike. Good fastball. Evens the count at 2-2. Charholm got Bonus looking for something else that time. Came back with the same pitch. That one's outside for a ball. Runs the count full at 3-2. Top of the 8th inning. Kingsville leads this one 7-5. That's driven down the left field line, fouling out of play. Keeps the count full at 3-2. 2 out here in the top of the 8th. Charholm trying to work through this one here. This is driven out to left field, and that's going to fall in for a base hit. Ryan Johnson will run it down and get it returned in quickly. So another hit, or I should say, yeah, another second hit for Bonus. His second of the ball game. That'll bring up Jaden Cavazos, who came in relief as a pitch runner last time for Jake Chapman. Jaden, his first at bat in the ball game, and gets his first hit of the ball game as he sends that out to left field as well. So back-to-back hits. Have runners at first and second for the Javelinas. And that'll bring up Garrett Thompson. Thompson will work his way in. Thompson, who got a board on a walk his last at bat, looks at a strike. Charholm checks the runner at second, then comes home with it. That's going to be hit towards the second baseman, mishandled. See if he has in time. Nope, not on time to first, so that loads the bases up. Be another error for the Buffaloes as Thompson gets aboard on an E4. So the bases are full with 2 outs here in the top of the 8th inning. And that'll bring up Dalton Kramer, who again heads down to the third base box for a quick conversation. Kramer will settle in, batting from the left side. So Charholm, his 4th left-handed batter in a row. Charnholm comes home with it. That one's hit down the left field line, fouling out of play. So strike one for Dalton. Dalton, who struck out twice, walked once, and singled once. Scored twice in this one today. Off-speed pitch hit out to left center field. That one is going to drop in there for a base hit. 1 run comes home. 2 runs come home. And so Dalton Kramer comes away with a double. And 2 more runs come home to push the lead to 9-5. And so that calls for a call to the bullpen, as again, Colton Charnholm may able to take care of the first 2 batters, but has struggled ever since. And so call to the bullpen. We'll see who's coming in for the Buffs. And again, nice inning for Kingsville, as they've got 3 hits, also got a runner aboard on an error. And so that has allowed for 2 of those runs to come home. So Charnholm will give way, and we'll head to the bench one more time for the Buffaloes, as we'll take a timeout and come back right after this on the Lone Star Conference Digital Network.
The best tailgates start with the best beef, and the best beef starts with Market Street. Market Street, where we do beef the best.
Beef in the heart of Texas. The prairie is
Bud Light, proudly brewed
in the heart of Texas.
Since 1910, WT and the Department of Agricultural Sciences has provided high-quality education to the students of the Panhandle and beyond.
At WT, professors know me and are committed to my success.
If you want to get an ag industry job, WT is where you need to be.
I don't want just a job and a paycheck after graduation. I want a career where I can make a difference.
WT invested in my career. I intend to pay it forward.
Well, the new pitcher for the Buffaloes is Justice Hayes. He's a 5'9" junior from Arlington, Texas. Played before at Carl Albert State College. So here for the Buffs on in relief, as he will face Matthew Castro. Castro takes a swing and comes up empty. Down in the count 0-1. Justice Hayes with runners at second and third. 2 outs here in the top of the 8th. That's driven down the left field line, fouling out of play. So that runs the count to 0-2. Matthew Castro, who was 0 for 3 at the plate until the last inning when he hit a 3-run home run to give Kingsville the lead. Pops this one up and out of play. Keeps the count at 0-2. Castro batting 091 even with that 3-run home run. Hayes checks the runner at second, then comes home with it. Off-speed pitch, misses for a ball. So 1-2 the count. Castro, should he get aboard, then Ivan Durante in the on-deck circle. It's a slow roller hit toward the pitcher, who underhands over to first in time for the putout. And so Matthew Castro is retired 1-3 for out number 3. But another good inning for the Kingsville Javelinas as they get 2 runs on 3 hits. There was 1 error in the inning and 2 left on base. As we come to the end of 7.5, Kingsville leads this one 9-5. We'll take a timeout and be back with the bottom of the 8th after this on the Lone Star Conference Digital Network.
Since 1933, the Panhandle Plains Historical Museum has housed the vast history of Panhandle Plains, given back to the community, and provided educational resources to those who live here. Located on the campus of West Texas A&M University, PPHM is free to all students, faculty, and staff at WT. We offer volunteer opportunities, internships, and hands-on research experience. From prehistoric times to pioneer travels, there's something for everyone at the largest history museum in Texas. Stop by and see us sometime. Oh, and don't forget, go Buffs!
Well, the Buffs got some work to do. Eddie Savoy will start things off here in the bottom of the 8th inning. Facing Cole Payne. First pitch is fouled off and out of play. Savoy, who has got aboard on a walk his last at bat. 0 for 2 at the plate today. First baseman. Going to pitch high for ball 1. Buffs trail 9-5. Kingsville 9 runs on 14 hits. The Buffs 5 runs on 6 hits, and they've committed 2 errors. And those have been costly errors today that have allowed for runs to score. Slow roller hit down the first base line, fouling out of play. So runs the count to 1-2. Savoy from Montreal settles in, ready to go. Got that Pete Rose crouch. For those of us old timers who remember Pete Rose, how he used to crouch in the batter's box. Savoy kind of has that same makeup. That's hit down the first base line, fair. And so Savoy will round first, head towards second base, maybe digging for third. No, he's going to hold up. So leadoff double for Eddie Savoy. That'll get things going for the Buffaloes. So Cole Payne on in relief here. Gives up that double. You watch on the replay here. And that one's just smacked down the line, just inside the bag at first. And rolls out to right field. So Mike Manetta comes up, second baseman. Or shortstop, I should say. Excuse me, today. Has a double. He's walked and he's grounded out today. 1 for 2 at the plate. Looks at a strike. Manetta batting .500 on the season. He's driven in a run today as well. one misses for a ball. Evens the count at 1-1. Eddie Savoy takes his lead off the bag at second base. Not much of a lead right at the moment. This one's popped up out into shallow left field. And coming on to grab it is the left fielder. So again, quite a few plays today for Matthew Castro. So Mike Mineta is retired on a fly out to the right to the left, for out number 1.
At number 5, Patrick Donovan.
Brings up Patrick Donovan. Donovan looking for his first hit of the day. He's 0 for 3 at the plate. Looks at a ball. Donovan settles in, batting from the left side, facing Cole Payne. Bottom of the 8th inning. Looks at a strike. Getting some shadows. You can kind of see some long standards shadows out on the field here. Again, we'll play 2 tomorrow, starting at 1 o'clock. Supposed to be warmer in the 60s. That one's hit down the first base line, gobbled up by the first baseman. Becker steps on the bag at first. For out number 1, Savoy will move over to third base. So that's out number 2, as Patrick Donovan is retired 3 unassisted. That'll bring up Kason Haggard. Well, instead it'll be Corey Schmidt that will come on and pitch hit. Schmidt, 6'4", 200-pound junior from Liberty Hill, Texas. Played at Dodge City Community Cottage. Will bat for Haggard. Schmidt, first pitch is down in the dirt for a ball. That pitch is high for a ball. So Schmidt settles in, ready to go. Pitches outside corner for a strike. He thought it was a ball. So runs the count to 2-1. 2 outs here in the bottom of the 8th. Eddie Savoy over at third base. Check swing. They're going to say he went around, and that's going to be a strike. So that evens the count at 2-2. Schmidt settles in, ready to go. And takes a cut and fouls it off, but it's caught, and that's out number 3. So Schmidt is a strikeout victim. And so the Buffs, no runs on 1 hit, no errors, and 1 left on base. We played 8 complete, 9-5. Kingsville with a lead. We'll be back for the top of the 9th right after this on the Lone Star Conference Digital Network.
Welcome to Shimon Dental Group, where every day we're excited to see our patients and treat them like family. We are dedicated to providing you with the highest quality care in a friendly and comfortable environment. Shimon Dental Group's patient-focused philosophy puts your needs front and center.
We are constantly investing in leading-edge technology.
Innovations that speed the treatment process and improve aesthetics. We're expanding the breadth of our cosmetic and restorative services through training to provide the best possible outcomes.
Just with the level of commitment that they show to taking care of my family and I, it's absolutely unmatched in this town, so I've been very happy with them.
Brightening smiles for more than 3 decades.
Contact Shim & Dillon Group for your appointment today.
Well, I'm not one of the brave that would wear shorts on a day like today, but I credit those who do. About 43 degrees is our temperature, wind blowing in from the northwest. So only the tough are able to make it. Everybody else is bundled up here at Wilder Park, where Kingsville lead this one 9-5 over the Buffaloes. And first pitch offered up from Justice Hayes to Von Durant. Durante's ball 1. That was fouled off at the plate. That evens the count at 1-1. Cool day. Supposed to be warm up in the 60s tomorrow. 60s on, or maybe 70 on Sunday. Play 2 tomorrow. Supposed to be sunny. Not bad. That's a strike on the outside corner. Runs the count to 1-2. Buffs trail 9-5 to the Javelinas. Javelinas 9 runs on 14 hits. It's down in the dirt for a ball. Evens the count at 2-2. That's going to be down in the dirt for a ball. So that runs the count to 3-2. Von Durante then top of the order with Shelby Becker in the on-deck circle, followed by Nick Wolf. And that's strike 3. Durante is out on strikes. First strikeout for Justin Hayes. It's the 8th strikeout for Buffalo pitching in the ball game. So that's the first out. We go to the top of the order. Shelby Becker batting .364. He's 1 for 5 today at the plate. Looks at a ball outside. Said Javelinas 9 runs on 14 hits. Buffs 5 runs on 7 hits. Right back up the middle, right at Hayes. He grabs that one and throws it over to first in time. But a line out to the pitcher for Shelby Becker for out number 2. That'll bring up Nick Wolf. Nick on the day has had 2 hits. He is 2 for 4 at the plate. He also walked and scored a run. Wolf batting from the left side, settles in ready to go. Wolf looks at ball 1. Should he get aboard, Ramsey Amador in the on-deck circle for the Javelinas. Justice Hayes pitch, swung on and missed. That is strike 1. Javelinas 1 in the first, 2 in the second, 1 in the 5th, 3 in the 7th, and 2 in the 8th. Off-speed pitch, had Wolf swinging. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. On the Javelina catcher, settles in to bat from the left side. That one misses inside for ball. So full count, 3 balls, 2 strikes for Nick Wolf. And that one misses down low for ball 4. So Nick Wolf gets aboard with a walk. Second time in the ball game for that for him. They're bringing up Ramsey Amador. Amador from Edinburgh, Texas. Again, was at Wharton County Junior College and also played at University of Texas, Rio Grande before transferring to Kingsville. Amador batting from the right side. Third baseman for the Javelinas. One aboard, 2 out here in the top of the 9th. That's going to hit a high in the air, giving chase is Donovan in center field, and he pulls underneath that one and pulls it in as Amador flies out to center for out number 3. No runs on one hit, or no hits, excuse me. No errors in the inning and 1 left on base. We have played 8.5. Kingsville leads this one 9-5. We'll take a timeout. Be back after this on the Lone Star Conference Digital Network.
Suddenlink is now Optimum with award-winning internet, TV, and mobile, giving you the power to get closer and go farther with speed and reliability. With our new 100% fiber internet we're building, together with Optimum Mobile, voted #1 in customer satisfaction, you'll get the complete connectivity you deserve. And when you combine Optimum's award-winning connectivity with our 24/7 customer service, your future is only a connection away.
Well, we go to the bottom of the 9th inning. The Buffs got some work to make up. They trail 9-5 as let's see if they can kind of claw their way back into this one. Cameron Loy will lead things off for the Buffs, followed by Ryan Johnson and Adam Becker. 1, 2, and 3 in the lineup for the Buffaloes. Loy, who is 1 for 4 at the plate today. Cole Payne stays on in relief. They've only used 2 pitchers today, Kobe Jaramillo and Cole Payne for the Javelinas. The Buffs have used 4 pitchers today. So Cameron Loy will lead things off. Loy batting from the left side, settles in, ready to go. Payne throws a strike. Loy, who struck out his last 2 at-bats in the 5th and 6th. Looking to get back into rhythm. There's another strike that he didn't agree with. So he's down in the count 0-2. Fouls off at the plate. Keeps the count at 0-2. Again, these guys will play 2 tomorrow, starting at 1 o'clock. Here's a drive out into left center field. Lloyd gets aboard with a single to lead things off here. And he heads on over to second base as that one kept rolling out to the fence. So a stand-up double for Cameron Lloyd. Nice way to start things off for the Buffaloes here in the top of the 9th. Bottom of the 9th, excuse me. That'll bring up Ryan Johnson. Johnson was hit by a pitch his last at-bat. He's 1 for 3 on the day. Johnson batting .438. got Loy in scoring position. Johnson settles in, ready to go, batting from the right side. First pitch is high for a ball. Cole Payne working in relief. It's pitched 2 1/3 innings so far in relief. There's a strike on the outside corner. That evens the count at 1-1. Johnson fouls this one off to the right side and out of play. So that runs into a long strike and becomes a 1-2 count on the Buffalo left fielder. Johnson settles in, batting from the right side, facing Payne. Cole in the windup. That misses outside for a ball. So that evens the count at 2-2. Loy measures his lead off the bag at second base. That's down in the dirt for a ball. So runs the count full at 3-2. So 3-2 is the count. Johnson settles back in. Even stance. Fouls this one off and out of play. Keeps the count full at 3-2. There's some action in the Javelina bullpen, but it's not strenuous workout. This one is popped up down the right field line, giving chase. That one is out of play as well. Trying to get over there from right field was Jake Chapman. Gave it a good chase, but ran out of real estate. Still full count. So 3-2 pitch from Cole Payne is driven towards the third baseman. Throw over to first in time for the putout. So Ryan Johnson is retired 5-3 for out number 1. That'll bring up Adam Becker. Now let's see. Catcher Wolf went out there and signaled. Let's see if they are going to pitch or they're just going to put him on. Cole Payne settles in, ready to go. Loy, with his lead off the bag at second, slowly walks his way back and touches the bag. Now extends his lead once again. Payne's first pitch is in there for a strike. So they're going to go right after Adam Becker. Becker, who has one hit today, is 1 for 4 at the plate. Batting .409. Slow roller hit down towards third. And the throw in time for the putout. So Becker is retired 5-3. So that's out number 2. So the Buffs down to their final out, trailing 9-5 after getting a leadoff double from Loy. They don't want to waste it. And Will Fenning will head to the plate.
At bat for the Buffs, number 15, Will Fenning.
Fenning looks at a strike. Drives this one towards the shortstop, who makes a diving catch, and that ends the ball game on a nice play by Yvonne Durante. Makes a diving stab at it and pulls it in as Will Fenning lines out for out number 3. And so no runs on one hit. No errors in the inning and one left on base. As the Javelinas win this first game of this 4-game set 9-5 over the Buffaloes. 9 runs on 14 hits. No errors for the Javelinas. Buffaloes 5 runs on 8 hits and 2 errors. And again, those 2 errors were costly today because they led to Javelina runs and extended a couple of innings. So that's the way this one ends up, with the Javelinas improving to 1-4 on the year, while the Buffaloes fall to 4-1, their first loss of the 2023 campaign. What we want to do is take a timeout. We'll do so, and then we'll come back and have a post-game interview for you. But first, we want to take this break on the Lone Star Conference Digital Network.
Delicious, refreshing, Pepsi.
The best tailgates start with the best beef, and the best beef starts with Market Street. Market Street, where we do beef the best.
We are Carpet Tech, and we are family. More than carpet cleaners, we're a team. Diving right in, not afraid to invest in our work and each other. We're killing it day in and day out, never shrinking from a challenge. Our people are 1 part passion, 1 part grit, and about a zillion parts awesome. And we are always looking to add to our family. So what are you waiting for?
Choosing the right countertops for your kitchen can be tricky. Nowadays, there are hundreds of colors, patterns, and textures and materials that range from natural to engineered stone. Marble Depot is here for you throughout every step of the process. And yes, we do have a lot of options that might make that decision a little harder, but we're also going to ask the right questions so that you get the most out of your investment. So come by our showroom and let us help create what you've been dreaming of.
Bud Light, proudly brewed
in the heart of Texas.
We are Carpet Tech, and we are family. More than carpet cleaners, we're a team. Diving right in, not afraid to invest in our work and each other. We're killing it day in and day out, never shrinking from a challenge. Our people are 1 part passion, 1 part grit, and about a zillion parts awesome. And we are always looking to add to our family. So what are you waiting for?
Eric, listen, home opener, not really what you wanted to go with, I would assume, but what do you want? Anything positive you want to say?
Did a really good job behind. Came up with that. I get a lot. Some things. Talk about all the time. Listen, we can't have 2 errors. Crucial things that we take pride in all the time is winning the 7th, 8th, and 9th inning, and they kicked our tail in the 7th, 8th, and 9th.
For sure. But I will say this: the Javelinas did have a good at bat with that 7th inning home run. Anything you want to say about the Javelinas right now?
Listen, we know they're a really good team. I mean, they're one of the top teams in the country every year. We told our guys all week, just because they went 0-4 last week against a really good St. Edwards team didn't mean anything. We knew how talented they are. Our guys didn't take them lightly. We just didn't play good baseball. That's what it comes down to. We got to here and play better baseball tomorrow.
What are you going to say to your team for coming up for tomorrow's doubleheader?
Don't suck like we did today.
All right, Bryce, back to you. Thanks, Coach. Appreciate it.
Thanks very much, Bray. Appreciate that. And again, Matt Vanderberg talking about his club. And again, he's absolutely correct. The 2 errors today extended the innings and allowed for them to get some things that took place in this one today. For the Javelinas, 9 runs on 14 hits. They left 8 on base, no errors for them. For the Buffaloes, 5 runs on 8 hits, 2 errors. And again, those 2 errors were costly as they extended innings and allowed for some extra runs to come across. The Buffs also left 8 on base today, so I'm sure that's something that the coaching staff will talk a little bit about, trying to take advantage of when you have those guys on base. The win today goes to Cole Payne as he picks up the victory in this one today. Nick Marshall takes the loss, and so Nick falls to 1-1 on the season. And so, again, Cole Payne picks up that first victory of the campaign as well. Of course, both teams will be at it tomorrow. The weather should be a little warmer. We have great weather today. Sunny conditions, just kind of cool. That's part of the problem out there. And, again, when you're out there playing baseball, it's one thing to field the ball and throw it. It's another thing to hit it. And that's where the hands kind of get chapped a little bit because of the coldness today. But nevertheless, it was a nice win for the Javelinas. They win this one by a final of 9-5 over the Buffaloes. They are 1-4 on the season. While the Buffs take their first loss of the season, they fall to 4-1. Of course, we'll get underway tomorrow just before 1 o'clock in our first game between these two. And so not quite sure who the pitching matchups will be for tomorrow. We believe that Reese Miller or Douglas Rojas may get to start in that one tomorrow. But we'll wait and see exactly who will start in game number 1 for the Buffaloes tomorrow. Again, our final today, 9-5. The Javelinas come away with a win. And, again, we'll get underway tomorrow at just before 1 for the start of a doubleheader. Thanks to Jacob Griffiths and the crew for providing great pictures here on a sun-splashed afternoon. And we'll do the same thing for